Next topic is on IO basics, reading and writing, console input, the print writer class, reading and writing, files, and how to close a file stream. So these are the things we will discuss now. So how we are going to be accept a value from the user and how we are going to be print a value on console and all we will discuss in this particular topic. So the IO package supports Java's basic input-output systems, and the applet package supports applets. Applets we will see later, and here we will see the package IO package and how we are going to be accept a value from the user and how we are going to be print a result as a output. Next IO basics, the print and println usually we come across these two statements whenever you want to print any value on the screen. We usually use the print and println statements. So these are usually defined inside system.in and system.out package, and these are uh, these methods have been used significantly in previous cases, and the reason is simple. These are somehow defined inside java.lang package, and we can easily get this information. And the Java doesn't support, the Java's not only support for text-based console applications, and also it supports some GUI applications like AWT, Swings, and so on. So in that situation, these print and println is not sufficient for us. So we need some more things. Whenever you want to show a picture on the screen, and whenever you want to draw a line on the screen, or whenever you want to show a form on the screen. So such outputs, if you want to generate, you can use some more functionality in this. And also sometimes we are not supposed to accept a value from the user. Sometimes we need to accept a value from a file or from a network as the input, and sometimes we need to send a value to console usually, but sometimes we may send the value or the result to a file or some network devices. So these things happens in this, and how you are getting those information instead of using system.in system.out statements other than. And basically you are having streams, the flow of information. It may be from input to output or output to input to system and system to output. A stream is an abstraction that either produces or consumes information. Either it accepts the value or it sends a value to the output devices. A stream is linked to a physical device. So the flow of information usually is linked to a stream, to a device. Whether you are accepting information in the input streams come into the picture, and it is linked to the input devices. Whenever you are sending any result to the result, so it is linked to the output devices, and it shows the values on the output devices like monitor. So the input streams usually it may be from a disk file or a keyboard or a network socket, or output may be a console or a disk or a disk file or a network connection. So usually it may be any of this. And Java implements streams within the class hierarchy defined in java.io package. So next is usually streams are of two types based on the data how it moves. It may be of a byte stream or it may be of a character stream. The byte stream provides a convenient means for handling input and output devices, input and output bytes. The byte stream usually the flow of information in the form of binary data. It may be reading or writing purpose, and the character stream is in the form of a characters. Usually, Java supports the Unicode codes, and there you can have to send a value and receive a value by means of a character streams. So in olden version, Java supports these binary byte streams, and it was deprecated and from early versions. And the latest versions, usually from 1.1 onwards, we use this character stream representations. But at the lowest level, all IO is still byte oriented. So take a simple example here. Whenever you want to run an application, Java application, Usually the Java application needs certain data as input, or sometimes the Java application produce some result as output. So whenever Java application needs a value or as input, usually it may acquire the value by means of input devices like a file or a console or a socket from a network. Those are the sources of input, and that information is flows through input streams into the application, Java application, and whatever the result generated by this particular Java, that value is going to be sent to the output devices. It may be a file or a console like a monitor, or a network devices like sockets and all. So here the output will flows by means of output streams. So this simple picture shows represents how Java application accept input from input streams and send output to output streams. And these are the predefined classes defined inside input streams. So input usually input streams are in file input streams, byte array input stream, file input streams, and so on, and buffer input streams and so on. And output stream class usually define file output streams, byte array output streams, filter output streams, data output streams, and so on, print writers and all. We will see those things whenever we require. And the byte stream classes, next abating the byte stream classes. The byte streams are defined by using two classes. So here the data will flow through in the form of bytes. So usually we're having two classes, input stream and output stream. So based on these two classes, we can accept a value and we can send the values based on. So whenever you want to accept a value, so we need to include one header file, import file here. Import, we need to import java.io, and the optional classes for input stream and output stream define several key methods that the other stream classes implement. So two of most important methods here is read and write methods. So the read and write methods are meant for to read a value, and write method is meant for to send a value to output devices. And these are overridden by derived stream classes. And these are some of classes defined in byte stream classes. Usually buffered input streams, buffered output streams, and byte array input streams, byte array output streams, and so on. So there are plenty of things there in here. And we're having print writer or print stream. Inside print stream we can have a print and println methods. So next is character stream classes. So inside character stream, here the data will flow in the form of characters, usually in Unicode character streams. There we can have a reader and writer classes, predefined reader and writer classes. In these classes, they define two more methods which are used to send and read and value from the user, like read and write methods. So here read and write methods are the methods to read a value from the user, and write is the method which is used to write data to the output devices. And these are overridden by the derived stream classes. And these are the method classes defined inside stream classes: buffered reader, buffered writer, file reader, file writer. So all these are the predefined classes, and many more classes there in this. And print writer is one more class where you can have print and println statements, string classes, writer classes, and all. So these are all defined inside the character stream IO classes. And one more predefined streams. So we come across byte streams and character streams, and one more is a predefined stream that is defined automatically by the system, and it imports by default the java.lang package, and there we can have one class with the name of system, so which encapsulates several aspects of runtime environment. For example, whenever you want to obtain the current time, and settings of various properties, etc., all are defined inside the system class. And usually you can use system.in for reading a value, system.out for writing a value, printing a value, and so on. The system class defines three predefined streams: in, out, and ERR. So these fields are defined as in public static void, public static final within the system class. So that's why these variables we can use wherever we want directly without an instance of a system class. Why? Because public, static, and final are the keywords are used whenever in front of any particular variable. That variable is shareable and we can access directly without object of that particular class. So inside system class, the system define in, out, and ERR are the predefined three streams. One is for input stream and out for output stream and ERR for error stream. The three are defined inside system and we can easily access without the instance of system class. And though system.out refers to the standard output streams, by default the console monitor. System.in refers to the standard input, that is by default keyboard, and system ERR. So whenever something happen in the system usually shows certain error message on the screen. The file not found, variable not found, such message usually shown by the system automatically. That should be done with the help of system.err. So the system.err also use the console as by default. And here system.in is an object of input stream, and system.out and system.err are objects of print stream classes. So please remember, whenever you want, wherever we use system.in, it is an object of input stream, and wherever we use system.out or system.err, these are the objects of print stream classes. These are byte streams. And how to read a console value from the user. So it's a simple scenario how to read a value from the user. So whenever we use system.in is outdated version, we use by using buffer readers with a character based stream orientation. Inside buffer reader we can have certain functionality. First we need to create an instance for the buffer reader. The buffer reader will supports input streams, so it accepts a value reader input reader. So reader is an object, is an abstract class which is linked to the input streams and which converts bytes to characters. So it's a simple structure. Whenever you want to create an instance for buffer reader will have a reader class, and inside reader it may be a input stream reader and which accepts or which is in turn connect to the system.in classes, and we're having a lengthy of statement like this. So whenever you want to read a value from the user by means of buffer reader, it is a simple syntax here. The buffer reader followed by the BR, it's an instance for buffer reader, equal to new buffer reader. It is accepting one object for input stream reader, and that input stream reader will have a parameter system.in. So system.in is linked to the input stream reader. I mean the physical device is linked to the input stream reader that gives an instance to the buffer reader class that is going to be maintained by BR and object. So with the support of BR we can directly communicate with the input readers, input devices. And for this we are having certain methods. Whenever you want to read a character, we are having a method read method, and the read will reads a character from the input stream and returns an integer value. How many characters read so far? It returns an integer value, and it returns a negative, -1 when it reaches to the end of stream, and it can usually throws an IO exception. So don't confuse, these methods are repeatedly will have the same name, read and write return for buffer readers and print writers and all, and even input stream readers also. So don't confuse, based on the situation we are using these classes. We'll have a simple program here. Buffer reader, just I'm importing java.io.star, and all the packages classes there defined inside IO package, and I'm just creating my own class with the name of BR read, and inside I define main method. The main method itself throws an IO exception. Why? Because here the BR read method, and the previous slide we discussed, the read method throws IO exception. So the method which is used inside main method, so the main method itself throws an IO exception. So that I just added the exception for the main method itself. So here it throws IO exception. So I just added a line throws IO exception for the main method. And inside I define a character C and buffer reader BR equal to new buffer reader. It's split into two lines, new buffer reader in new input stream reader system.in. and I just showed a message on the screen, enter characters and Q to quit. And I just kept inside a infinity loop, do while, and inside c equal to character br dot read. So here you are reading a character from the user by using a read method. It is an instance, it is a method of buffer reader class. So you are invoking br dot read method. Now the system accepts a character from the user in the form of Unicode and assigned to character C. And you are printing the same by means of system.out.println as usual normal notation. And whenever the character entered by the user is C, is not a Q, it iterates continuously. Whenever the C is having a Q, it simply stops the execution. It is a simple application. Only thing is here how you are going to be use br.read method, and it reads an integer value, so we are typecasting into character form by using character enclosed within the parentheses. It reads a Unicode value and it assigned into appropriate character form and assigned to C variable. Next is reading a strings. So here reading a single character, and whenever you want to read a string, we use read line method. So read line method also throws an IO exception. It reads a line of information continuously. Here L should be in uppercase. String, it returns a string value, read line. The same application here, the main method which throws an IO exception, and I took br buffer reader br equal to new buffer reader, new input stream reader system.in, and I define a string variable str, and I just mentioned enter the lines of text and enter stop to quit. I just make this loop also infinity loop, and whenever the string which you are reading a line of information by means of br.read line, it assigned to str, and str shows on the screen, and whenever str is not equals to stop, it iterates continuously. Whenever it becomes a stop method, so you are checking condition here, not str dot equals to stop. So string class, we are having a equals method, so equals is comparing with the str with stop stop. So when both are equal, it simply stops the iteration. This is the simple output for this. So whenever you want to read a character, we use br.read method. Whenever you want to read a line of information, we use br.readLine. Next, writing information onto the monitor, onto the console. So usually in the previously we did with the print and println statements, which are defined inside system.out.package. It is in the form of byte stream, but we can do the same by means of with the support of print streams, which is defined in output streams. Here we are having a write method. Write will have one integer value. It accepts one integer value, and the method writes to the stream the byte specified by integer value, byte value. Although byte value is declared as an integer, only the low order 8 bits are written. So it takes the first order 8 bits are going to be shown by means of this write method. So it's a very simple application. Just define java.io.strong and define a main method, and here define one variable b and assign a value a to b. Now whenever you assign a to b, a is a character and b is a variable here. So whenever you assign a character to integer variable b, now b will have a value, a Unicode value of a, and you can write the information system.out.write instead of println. Here you represented with write statement. It simply shows a value on the screen a, and whenever you want a new line character, use /n. But the thing is, instead of using a write to perform console output, better use print and println. These are simpler to use than compared to write statement. And one more is we can do the same by means of a writer method. Is a one character based class, and print writer defines several constructors, like it accepts print writer constructor, it accepts two parameters, output stream and boolean flush on new line. So take the output stream information, output stream, and the boolean value true or false. So if the value is true, means you are invoking a new line, and if you are if the value is the boolean value is false, you are not supposed to insert a new line. The print writer supports the print and println methods, and previously we did with the write method, but the print writer will have the two methods with the name of print and println. And if an argument is not a simple time, so output stream receives one object. So print writer will have a two parameters. One is output stream object and the boolean value. If output stream object is not a simple time, think that if it is not if it is like any object, so the system invokes the toString method and then print the results on the screen. So here a simple application here, the java.io star and public class print writer demo, and inside main method you define one class with the name of print writer pw equal to new print writer system.out. Here I am using system.out as an object, output stream object, and I am making this one as a true. Here two parameters needed for this print writer, and I can directly use pw.println. This is a string and take certain variable like I, and I can print the I value by using pw.println, and even I can print the double value by using pw.println. Now println is a print writer class object which is using to print the values on the screen directly. So it needs two parameters. The first parameter is an object of output stream, and the second one is the boolean value. The next topic is reading and writing files. So whatever the things we read so far by means of user through keyboard, and whatever the things you want to write, you are writing onto the console like a monitor. The same thing done by means of a file. So a file acting as an input device and a file is acting as an output device. So how you are going to be read a value from the file, and how you are going to be send the information to the file. So file acting as an input and also file acting as an output. So Java provides number of classes and methods that allow you to read and write files. So in Java all files are byte oriented, and Java provides methods to read and write bytes from and to a file. Two of the most important file streams are file input stream and file output streams. And the file input stream needs one string, file name, and throws file not found exception, and file output stream needs one string, file name, throws file not found exception. So the string name here is the file name. The file name specifies the name of the file that you want to open. If you open a file stream by means of a file input stream, the system opens the file, whatever the name you mention as a string, that the file, if it is exists, it opens the file. If it not exists, it shows an exception, file not found. And the next is file output stream, and it needs a file name, and simply it open the file for writing purpose, and if it is not exist, if it is exist, it simply overwrites the existing file. If it is not, it creates the new file. If it is not exist, the system shows that the file not found exception. It simply raises file not found exception if it is not exist. And we are having two methods commonly here, read and write. And one important thing one important method here it is close method. Whenever you are done with the file, you should close it by calling close method. So after reading or writing any file stream, so we need to close the file stream. So here we are having a method close, and it throws IO exception. So it is a mandatory that whenever you open a file for an input purpose or for output purpose, so finally we need to close the file streams by calling the method close method. And whenever you want to read any information from the file stream, use read method. It throws IO exception. It reads a single byte from the file and returns a byte as an integer value, and read -1 at the end of file. It throws an IO exception. It reads a single byte information and it returns a negative value on reaching end of file. And see a simple example here how to read a file stream. So just open a import.java.io.star, import java.io.star, and show file, whatever the name of the class, and define main method. And main method throws IO exception, and inside I define one integer variable and file input stream fin, and inside try block I mention fin equal to new file input stream and args of 0. So here arguments of 0 in the sense I am receiving a command line argument through main function. So whatever the name I mentioned, that name should be acting as a file here, and if it is not exist, the system throws file not found exception. And next is return the value, and if something happen and if you are unable to pass the parameters to the main function, the system throws array index out of bound exception and so on, right? And see here, and inside do while loop, and I equal to I is an integer variable, I equal to fin, the file input stream reader object dot read method. Now fin dot read is going to be read a character by character from the find and assigned to I variable, integer variable. And if I not equal to -1, you just show the value on the screen by means of system.out.println and print the value of I in the form of character, typecasting into character, and show the value on the screen. And whenever I reaches to -1, think that the file reaches to the end of find, and just simply close the loop and break the loop and come out of the loop, and finally close the file stream by using close method, fin dot close. It is as same as C program files. Only thing is we need to remember here certain predefined file streams are defined. We need to make use of those file streams, and to open a file stream and to read a character by character or based on read the values, and at the end we need to close the file stream. Here it is we need to pass a file name through the Java compile, Java run at the time of prompt. So whenever you run the application, use Java followed by the file name, show file, and followed by the file what you are supposed to open as a file input stream, test.txt, like this. So don't forget to mention the file name through command line, or else it gives an error stating that array bounds exceeding exception, like that, and writing into the file. That is all about reading from a file. So whenever you want to read, we need to create file input stream object and read the value by means of fin dot read and so on. And whenever you want to write information onto the file, we need to use the write method, and it takes one integer value and throws IO exception. It writes one integer value or byte value onto the particular file location, character by character and so on. It also throws an IO exception, and see a simple example how it is. It's very simple. Create one class and define main method. Main method throws IO exception. Usually reading and writing usually throws IO exception. So the main method itself using these read and write methods. So you mention the main method itself as throws IO exception, and take one integer variable. Here I just mentioned file input stream fin and file output stream fout. So I defined two streams here, input stream and output stream, and inside try block I mentioned fin equal to new file input stream argument 0. So I need to receive an argument from the main as a input file name, and if it is not there, the file is not exist, the system throws an exception, file input file not found, and return from the application. Or else you are just showing the values. You open, that is input purpose, and open one more file by for output purpose. Inside try block fout equal to new file output stream, and take the second argument as output purpose. The first argument given to the main method is input file. The second argument given to the main method is output file, and if the file is not exist, it shows file not found exception. If it is already exist, it opens for writing purpose, and it overrides the previous content. And inside if not these parameters not available for the main method, it shows array bound exceeding exceptions and so on. And coming to the next block, that is the copy block. You are just copying from input file to output file. So here you are reading, try to maintain inside try block, try to maintain a do while loop, and you are reading one character or one byte of information from the read method from the input file and assign to I. And if I not equal to -1, just you are writing f4 dot write to the second file as open for output purpose. Character by character you are reading from the input file fn dot read and writing onto the file f4 dot write method. It is a continuous process as long as all the characters there inside the first file will be copied into the second file, and whenever it reaches to the end of file, simply the loop will break and come out of that particular loop and showing if any error is there, it shows like file error problem like that. If it is everything is fine, it simply copies the first file as it is to the second file, and at then you need to close the first file as well as second file by calling the method fn dot close and f4 dot close methods. The simple application. So you are reading from a fast file and writing into the second file, but the only thing is the same application what we did in previous. You are reading the values from input. Instead of input, you are just reading the file names through main method as a command line arguments. Just particularly do this application and see. For these two applications, for this particular application, we required one text file which has to be there in the current working directory, and you mention as the name of the file as the first input file, and you can give another file for the second file, and you see that these files should be there in the current directory. And when previously some questions they asked like write Java program that counts number of lines, words, alphabets and special characters in a text file, and some of the lab programs we need to split a given text file into n parts and so on. We will see these things later. And please go through the previous question papers regarding this. And here it's a simple application, how you are reading a value and writing a value based on, instead of using pre-existing streams, and we can have our own input and output streams.